And what we have ahead of us is the likelihood of an NLC strike, NLC TUC strike. I'm a bit apprehensive. Not that I think there's nothing to fight for, but that I've seen these things come and go, and usually they'll turn out to be an anticlimax. But so that I don't just push my views down your neck, I'd like to talk to somebody who is an expert that I can trust, and that person is Owei Lakemfa. Owei is a journalist, but I think, Owei, were you ever a member of the NLC fully?
I was acting general secretary of the NLC.
Okay, as a journalist then.
Yes, and I was also the secretary of African Workers in Africa.
Yes, so he knows his onions. Morning, Owei, how are you?
Fine.
Do you understand when I say that I'm a bit apprehensive about the strike? Not so much the reasons for the strike, but also because I believe that in the past it appears, I'm choosing my words carefully, that the NLC had been compromised and were working in cahoots with the government of the day then, and I just felt we were being dribbled left, right, and center. Do you think I'm justified in that thinking?
I do not think so.
Okay.
Part of the problem we have is that we have franchised our rights and the need to stand for our rights to some organizations and individuals.
Yes.
So the NLC is just an organization that is fighting for its own members, and in that sense, the generality of Nigerians, because whatever affects the worker is likely to affect every other person, including the employer.
So they are not standing in the gap for us. Essentially, they're standing, and it's a very good point that you've just made. It just occurred to me, all of us believe that the NLC is representing them, those who are workers and those who are not. But the definition you've given now makes it a bit clearer that, look, hey, this group represent workers. Well, they believe that the ordinary Nigerian will also be affected, but essentially they are talking on behalf of the workers. Is that right?
Well, in a sense, yes. But I said, you see, there is a linkage that you cannot.
Yes.
What affects the worker affects everybody.
Why is it that in the past the NLC would puff and will not blow the house down? You'll now be seen. You remember the good old days of fuel subsidy demonstrations and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, you come out with some adjustment of 10 kobo, something that usually would be an anticlimax. Do you have any sense that at some point in time there could have been compromises between some members of the NLC and government?
Well, I'm not good at conspiracy theories.
I am. And you know my history. You know my history in Vanguard for that. I like to think out of the box.
But seriously, the trade unions must defend their members, otherwise the leadership will be gone. So they have to defend their members, and by extension, they have to also defend the society.
Yes.
Because without the defense of society, they themselves are gone.
What are the challenges that the leaders face in terms of what level of pressure do they face? Because usually, like I said, at the end of the day, for those of us on the outside, we think that some compromise has taken place. Is that, personally, what those times are called?
Well, I had experience.
Okay.
Leadership union.
Yes.
For 2017.
Yes. Yes.
And when you go into battle, you plan a strategy.
Yes.
And you tell yourself what you achieve and what can you not achieve.
Yes.
Is the dark side, as an upper hand, which is possible. Because don't forget that when you talk about the government controls the answer.
Yes.
Something about and so the only way for you as a trade union is the moral of it. So you have to, for instance, don't go to work or stay at home, don't open market.
Yes.
You don't need to start.
I see. So yes.
So it is when the people are willing that they will enforce it. You get it? For the trade unions, they can only say, okay, issue circular to workers to say don't go to work. they have control over that, but
Mm.
not on the rest of the populace.
Yes.
And so when you call a strike, and you say, for instance, road transport and road transport employers don't go, you find that there are a lot of transporters who are not under these people.
Mm.
And there are also a lot of transporters who want to sabotage it one way or the other because not because they do not think it is correct to fight, but because they have become overwhelmed. And so some of them cannot survive a day or two without working. So it's a very serious situation for us all.
How
You get
strong?
it?
How strong do you think the Ajero executive are? And Ajero himself, I knew when he was the leader of the Electricity Workers Union, and I must say that I've found him a very intelligent person, well spoken and all. My fear is, how strong do you think he'll be able to avoid the kind of pressure that will make him buckle in? Do you know him very well?
Well, you know, he worked in Vanguard for many years. He was
I
our labor
kept
reporter.
I kept saying that his face looked so familiar. I
So
kept saying,
I've known Ajero for over 30 years.
yes, I kept saying.
So
Ah,
the answer to your question
yes.
is that the trade unions, and they are not about the individual as such. It's
Okay.
really about leadership. So even no matter how radical you are or conservative you are, and the others don't agree with you, you cannot move on. So you have to be by consensus.
So everything is done by consensus.
It has to be by consensus, yes. I mean, if I'm a worker, you are not paying my salary. I say I should go on strike. I say, no, what will you do?
Okay. Okay. So in bullet points, what is this strike about? I would just want to get a clear vision. I know that the government hasn't been up and doing, and in that principle, I support at least challenging the government. And of course, I don't know.
I think
Sorry.
the government at inception,
Yes.
triggered off the crisis we are witnessing now.
Yeah.
When the president announced without consultation with anybody, and that's what he said, because it wasn't even in his speech. He said they have removed fuel subsidy. And so the way, fuel, first, we do not have mass transit, except one or two that is being tried, like in Lagos.
Yes.
You get it? So we all, virtually about 150 million, 200 people have to move on the road. And you have to depend on fuel, on PMS. The same thing with the companies. A lot of them don't get regular electricity supply, so they have to rely on either diesel
or petrol.
Or PMS.
Yes.
We all in our homes, those of us that are upper middle class, we all have generators, even if it's past my neighbor. It has to be by fuel. The small traders, the barbers and the hairdressers and everything, they have to generate their own power supply. So petrol is very essential. It's almost like lifeline in the country. So when you touch it, you touch virtually all other sectors and segments of society, including rent, including house rent, office rent. So you have to be very careful when you tinker with such a thing. When you then move a thing like that from 210 to 530
overnight,
and then to 617, you are bound to have crisis. So it's that crisis primarily that we are facing. Also, the government tried to float the naira. I know, JG, that you are an expert on such matters. So now they have not done it well.
Yeah.
And the naira has sunk. So the problem is, how do you refloat the naira? In the process of refloating the naira, what will people eat? What will they do? And that is part of the crisis that we are facing. So when the president initially increased the price of fuel to 530 naira per liter, he met with the trade union and he promised them that they are going to, negotiate on palliatives and what can be done to the populace.
Yes.
And he set up a presidential committee. After some problems and some meetings, the government finally said, look, don't worry, we will not delay this any longer. We'll agree on everything and implement within 8 weeks.
Okay.
That 8 weeks expired on August 19th. You get it?
Yes.
And so,
And nothing was done.
yeah, the presidential committee that the president set up, which included governors and other things, stopped working. The subcommittees virtually did not work.
Wow.
And so, a situation where technically government has abandoned the negotiation table. And the trade unionists are now being accused of selling out. So there's a problem. The labor unions have a problem now. The government made them promises and said this thing will finish by August 19th. And the government is not keeping to its promises. The workers and by extension Nigerians had hoped that the trade unions will ensure that their promises are kept. So that's a crisis. And so part of the reason why the trade unions are calling a strike is partially to redeem their image and themselves and the future of trade unionism in Nigeria.
Yes, is there a trust problem here also between, because when you read what Ajero says all the time, the gentleman is completely frustrated. He's completely frustrated at every turn. The meetings that we hold are not held. Government promises and don't fulfill it. Don't you have a credibility problem here?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things they are trying to avoid. Now the government are saying no when the president comes, and the president had to travel. He had to be at the United Nations General Assembly. And after that, he also made a detour
to Paris.
So a lot of things. Meanwhile, there's no time. JG, the situation is in the country is very, very bad.
Are you telling me?
I have a way of trying to, I'm not an economist, but I have a way of trying to look at the value of life and living in Nigeria. And I will tell myself that in 2015, under Jonathan, how much was a bag of rice? And I'll tell myself, 7,500 naira. What was the minimum wage? 18,000 naira. How many bags could 18,000 naira buy in 2015? 2.5 bags.
Yes.
Where is the food? Now, what is the minimum wage today? It has increased to 30,000 naira. How much is the bag of rice? Between 58 and 51,000 naira.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But it's cheaper in, So now a bag of rice, the minimum wage in 2015 that could buy you 2.5 bags of rice can now buy you only half bag of rice. That's the truth. So that gives you an idea of the devaluation of life in Nigeria. And that also tells you that, and you see, when people abandon rice, it means they are going for other grains.
Yes.
It also means the other grains then become costlier and costlier. And
yes.
Virtually out of it. And unlike in 2015, when you see have a lot of farmers on the field, now the banditry and terrorism are getting so high that a lot of people have abandoned their farms. So you have a very serious situation.
There is something making the rounds that the president said, on October 1 in his speech, he'll take care of some of these things. I'm just wondering, why do you have to wait till October 1? Anyway, we are too ceremonial. If there's something to be done and you can do it, why not just go ahead? But do you understand what I'm saying? All this ceremony, I think it's just buying time, essentially. But what do you think the president will be talking about tomorrow that might be favorable to labor and to Nigerians in general?
I knew the president when we were in the pro-democracy movement.
Yes.
Okay. So as a person, is somebody that can be innovative and intuitive.
Yes.
So, like when everybody sat on Independence Day, and the speech writers were happy they have written a good speech, and then the man introduces the removal of fuel subsidy. You see how things went away. And so, yes, the president he talks about hope, the birth. It is difficult. It is better to wait for him to say what he wants to say.
Are you saying that, in spite of the fact that you knew him in the pro-democracy days, you can't predict him?
No, it's not as if it's not predictable as such, but it's an hands-on person.
Okay, yes, okay,
and like
fair enough.
Mistakes can be made, and I think that removal of fuel subsidy was one of the greatest mistakes he has ever made in his life, in my view.
Oh, okay.
And all we are just doing so far is to manage.
Okay, we have 5 minutes to break time. Can you tell me specifically, bullet point, what the NLC wants? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 1.
The conclusion of the negotiation and implementation, which of course includes the palliatives and increases in workers' pay.
Do you think that increases in workers' pay itself won't spiral another level of inflation?
Well, you are economists, but I know that if my income is devalued every day, I need it to be reflated.
To be revalued.
Or to be revalued. So the trade unions want that. The trade unions think that the seizure of 8 months' salary of staff of the Academic Staff Union for going on strike is unjust.
Oh, and that is also inclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's a major problem. The trade unions also believe that the government has no business interfering in trade unions. So the decision of the Lagos State government to ban the Road Transport Workers Union and the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria and seizing their secretariat is illegal. And they have gone to court, and on April 8, 2023, the Court of Appeal, the National Industrial Court, which is the same, which has the same powers as the Court of Appeal, had ruled the Lagos State government should please vacate all those places and allow the unions to run. But all you find now is that type of cancer has spread to Abuja, and people have now gone to the secretariats of the road transport workers and accusing the leadership of murder. So, so a number of things are raised, and so that's why the trade unions are saying, look, let these things be resolved peacefully, and there's no reason why it should not be resolved peacefully.
So you have Agbe Rosna in Abuja.
There is no place you don't have Agberos, even in government. You get it?
Yes.
Yeah. But it's the level you allow them to operate.
That is the problem.
And I think as a state, as a government, the federal and state governments must discourage this cancer.
Okay. All right, the way we got to take a break anytime from now, and I don't want you cut off mid speech. We're on YouTube and we're on Facebook Live. We're going to open up our portals for calls, 0700 993 993 993 and 01465 7190. I'm speaking to Mr. Owe Lakemfa, who is both a journalist and a labor activist. He was one-time Assistant Secretary General of the NLC. And of course, we are discussing the obvious, the strike that might... Do you think the strike will hold?
Again, you're asking me to predict tomorrow.
Yes, you can.
No, I cannot.
We will have some select people amongst your people now. Who can tell us what? There's no Nostradamus.
Sorry, the government met with the labor, as in only meetings with labor leaders.
Yes.
Even as I went to see, I see only meetings here. So it is difficult to say what the outcome will be.
Okay.
It is also difficult to say what the president will announce on October 1.
Okay.
If on October 1, all your demands are accepted, that will be the end of the story.
Oh, the story. Okay. Let's pick a call quickly. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Good morning, the labor man.
Please go on quickly. We don't have time, please.
My take is the condition Labour is giving federal government. I don't like it. I want them to tell the government to reduce the fuel price. That's what we want. If they increase the price, increase the salary, what of we that do business are not working? How can we get to? What can we survive on this? They should tell government, please reduce fuel price.
Oh, okay, thank you. Wait, what he was saying is that instead of asking for salary increases and so on and so forth, that Labour should call us to go back to status quo, okay, which we should have done in the first place, and gradually move in a gradient. Do you agree to that?
That was what Labour did by rejecting the increase in the first place.
Is Labour still rejecting it as we speak?
No, Labour rejected the increase in the first place. Now, it became a question of, whether we're a sovereign government or not. Can anybody say to us, no, we have increased it, we have increased it. So instead of continuing to increase it, don't increase it. Okay. If you have done so, let us discuss the implications and how they can affect us and what we can do. And the government said, okay.
Okay, we'll take a short break now, and then we'll be right back.
The Discourse with Jimi Disu.
The Discourse with Jimi Disu
continues in a moment.
Whenever I tell people I'm a and a content creator, they go, huh? How are you able to do both all at once? You bewitch? No be juju. Na MTN 5G. Ever since 5G came into my life, I've been on cloud 9. I get to take my classes online in real time and upload my videos before you say Jack Robinson. Even Babe isn't left out. Our long distance is waxing strong.
Hello, babe. Can you hear me? Your video is frozen again.
We don't do that here, because life is a breeze.
Experience the wonders of MTN 5G, hyper-fast internet connection with no buffering, zero lag, and quality data capabilities like never seen before. Available on broadband and mobile. MTN, Nigeria's #1 5G network. What are we doing today?
Suddenly you hear,
You have 1 minute remaining.
you quickly check your wallet, and there's no cash. What if you could recharge without cash and even get some bonus? Low on credit? No problem. Recharge your MTN line by downloading my MTN NG app or dial *904# to buy airtime directly from your bank account anytime, any day, and enjoy a 15% bonus on every recharge. Yes, it's that easy. MTN. What are we doing today?
And now, we are back on The Discourse with Jimi Disu.
You're welcome back to The Discourse with Jimi Disu, and it's brought to you by MTN. And I have Mr. Oway. Oway, sorry, you're not Mr. You're Comrade Oway Lakemfa. Is that right?
Mr.
Yeah, Mr.
Mr.
Yes. But I thought a Labour leader would be a comrade. All those are gone now.
I should have become a chief, really. Mr.
Okay, Mr. Oway Lakemfa. Let's take one or two more calls and then we'll continue our discussion. Hello, good morning. Okay, 0700 993 993 993. And the female line is 01465 7190. The female line is for ladies only. No matter how you how you place your voice, we'll always know if you're a woman. And let's see. Okay, let's pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Please, for me, I believe the federal government has made a mistake right from onset.
Yes.
From that May 29.
Yes.
Immediately, the president announced that subsidy is gone. That is where the mistake started.
Yes.
But my own advice should have been that this 5 billion that they are sharing to 36 states, including Abuja, they should have raised it, to repair about 2 or 3 refineries
So the
Yes.
Port Harcourt refinery
Yes.
repairing is in progress. But if they did what I just said, I believe this would the Nigerians will be happy with them.
Okay,
So
thank
that's
you.
my
Thank you very
submission,
much,
sir.
sir. Wait, let me ask you. The government claims that they've put into action this cash palliatives money they got from the World Bank, and they've been giving palliatives. First of all, I don't even like anything called palliative. You should give me my rights, and the government should be doing certain things for citizens. But even that, the palliatives that they give out, sharing cash and so on and so forth, I think is a bit ridiculous. There are other ways by which we could make the life of our citizens more meaningful, given the distress that would have come from removing the subsidy. Do you think the palliative issue, do you think it's been well thought out and well implemented?
There's no way you are going to think out and implement palliative well because you don't have good statistics in Nigeria.
Yes.
So what they try to do is get some people to go and do some baseline study and go from village, and it's not something that can be effective or sustainable.
Yes.
You can also see it from what has happened in the state. They are giving 2 billion naira each. For that palliative, don't forget that it's supposed to be 50 billion or so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 500 billion naira.
Yes.
And I know the assembly was to be giving 70 billion.
Yes.
I calculated that if you divide the number of the members there, the 360 and 96 billion, by that 70 billion, each member of the house should be entitled to at least 130 million naira each.
Wow.
Now those are not the people who need the palliative.
Yes.
Yeah. So palliative is not the issue. I mean, like you talk that, if for instance people can buy food at cheaper rates
across the board,
pay
yes,
less for electricity, pay less for transport, then they will not ask for palliative. And that is what actually countries that are interested in development will do, or they do. But I was going to make a point about the first caller who said the thing is for us to ask for a return to price.
Yes.
Actually, the real thing in Nigeria is that we should define petroleum products locally.
Yes.
I remember in 2012 when I was acting general secretary of the Nigerian Labour Congress, and the Jonathan administration decided to increase the price of oil to 145 naira. And they said that was the landing cost.
Yes.
How much does it take to refine petroleum products? What's the cost at the gates of LMA? And the government did not know. I mean, at least the then Minister of Finance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, could not tell us. But we had made that calculation because a professor of petroleum from UI and US, Professor Izelin Agbo, had made a calculation and he found out that the cost of a liter of fuel you could refine in Nigeria was 40 naira.
Wow.
So you compare 40 naira to 145 naira, the government said you could buy a liter of fuel. So there's no solution to refining petroleum products locally.
Well, I mean, even if what I found embarrassing, the story that we got this week, that said that even Dangote refinery had to go and import crude again. And don't we have a complete system breakdown in this country? If Dangote refinery is now importing crude,
let me just say something about this Dangote thing.
Yes.
I mean, you are expert in business reporting. Dangote is a private businessman.
Yes.
And his company is private.
Yes.
So, really, the government has no business with Dangote. But I hear the NNPC told us that they invested in Dangote. They have not told us what percentage.
Yes.
That refinery, how much has it cost? I mean, how much does it cost? What percentage are we going to get? If, as a Nigerian citizen, the NNPC has invested in it, what is my own equity share?
But this...
Dangote can decide to refine petroleum products and not sell to Nigerians.
Yes, he can. He probably just can't do that. I mean, because the spirit I mean, well, look, he has to be patriotic. I mean, why would he want to do that? 1 second,
Under
please.
what law is that?
I know, not
Under
law.
what
We are not talking about laws. We are talking about
Yeah,
convention.
under what, under what system will a businessman who wants to make money be patriotic?
No. What? Look, I don't want to go into that. Like, no, 1 second. I don't want us to lose sight of it. But I'm sure you two were amazed to hear that he had to go and import crude, because the whole
No,
idea.
I'm not amazed.
You are not amazed.
Yes,
Do you think? Okay. Do you think he would have imported crude if Nigerian crude was available?
No, you see, the point I'm trying to make is like President Buhari going to open Dangote refinery when he knew it had not been completed. The government has business with Dangote oil. Let the man do his business. If he tries to sell,
okay, I get your cynicism now. I get your cynicism. Okay, let's leave. Okay, what do you think?
And don't forget that we give such people tax incentives.
Yes.
And they just go on and make money. And when we ask for taxes, okay, let us help you repair Obajana Road or repair Urushoki Road. We shouldn't be doing all those things.
There are a lot of things we shouldn't be doing away.
Okay.
There are
and
loads,
that is why we have
including even the process that forms government. A process, for example, a constitution that says that for you to be president in today's dispensation, you can have school sat or stances or whatever it is. It's ridiculous. In today's, for me, I always.
No,
listen. Listen.
What?
The chief executive of a country like Nigeria must be fully educated up to degree level. What are you saying? A man who does not have the capability and capacity to run a multinational, why would you give a whole country to him? I'm not talking about what the law says now. I'm talking about how silly the law is. Yes.
No, what does it take to run a country? The president of a country is supposed to be like an administrator. As far as I'm concerned, the duty of the president is not to be, like Tinubu once said, it's not about going to carry weight.
I disagree. I disagree. That look, let's be honest with you, that's a layman's way of looking at it. To run a country, 1 second. To run a country, you are a chief executive, for God's sake. And therefore you must be versed in certain areas. How can you tell me that the minimum of school cert is enough for you to run a country? Why are we fooling ourselves? Would you make a school cert? 1 second. Would you make a school cert holder the MD of MTN? Or the MD?
JD.
Yeah.
If the owner of MTN has school cert, what do you want it to do? A lot of our businesses and banks were set up by people with school cert.
That is not a way. I could have a debate with you on this on another day. What I am saying, the law says school cert, fair enough. I am saying that law is ridiculous. We need to up the ante. We need to up the ante now. What you have, look at in other countries. You need to up the ante now. We can't just say it's somebody who can be an administrator. Administrating what? A president in Nigeria must be hands-on. He has to be.
Are you sure people love it?
Hey, leave that one. Well, I know you will. No, leave that. No. Okay. I know that the way he went to MBHS. That one I know because it's a school that I went. Up Kings. Okay. Okay. Now, the NLC must have a two-way plan. If the president doesn't say anything favorable in his speech tomorrow, and I am thinking that by now the NLC should have their feelers from inside, and no, after all, the typists who are going to type, all of them there are members of the NLC. And you know, in those good days, we used to get the budget 2 days before it is released. So if what the president is going to say is not favorable, you believe that the strike will go on, and the NLC says the strike will be indefinite. That is, once it takes on, until you get what you want, you are not going back to work.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It is not me who is saying it all. You see, there are so many dynamics. Like I told you, the government is meeting with labor. So I do not know really what agreements have been reached or what may be reached today, tomorrow. You get it? But it's a serious situation for us in the country.
Oh, yes.
We're in a situation where we cannot move forward and we cannot go back. We're in a fix. And so we need to find a solution. Even if the government thinks it has a lot of powers and it has the media and other means of communication under its control, and it can make the strike fail or whatever, it is making a mistake because it's postponing
the evil day.
What the evil day? We are in trouble.
I see. Now, I agree with you. We are on the same.
More and more people are taking to banditry. More and more people are taking to robbery. In Abuja now, it is difficult for you to take a taxi with one or two persons inside. It has become very common in the last few weeks.
Wow.
There is a lot of security in the country. There is a lot of hunger, and there is a lot of anger.
Yeah. I hope that we learned a lesson about the reaction to Mohbad's death. I think that impulsive reaction shows that all you need in Nigeria now is to strike a match. And if you're not careful, the country could go up in flames. But do you think the government, from your interaction with them here in Abuja, from your interaction with Labour people and them off record and so on and so forth, do you think they have a sense of urgency in this matter?
I think they do. I think they do.
Do you think they? I'm glad to hear that. Do you think?
Beyond that, you look since the new government came in, this fuel thing and the naira has become a big problem. Yes. And the government can virtually not breathe. It is not just the people that cannot breathe, even the government. It's a very serious problem that we are facing really in this country. Yes. And so something has to be done.
Like what?
Like finding a solution.
Okay.
Look, do you know that there are students, especially in private universities, who have not gone back to school? Even
primary school students here who have had to change school.
At home. And so now you find a youth who is in the second year or should be in the third year having to drop out of school. What will he be doing? Going to push wheelbarrow? He will use intelligence for other things. And so we need to save our country. We need it urgently. So it's not about whether you voted for this or you did not vote for that. No, that's not the issue. The issue is that we have serious problems and all of us, we need a solution. And nobody should think he's more intelligent than any other person. No. We need our collective intelligence. Power.
Okay, I have a whole lot of calls coming up here, so let me take. Please, when you call, we want as many people to talk, and therefore we'll be keeping to the 1 minute rule. I will advise you don't spend time greeting this one, greeting that one. There are times when it can be done on a serious subject like this. Everybody wants to contribute something, and we'll stick to that 1 minute rule. If you want to use that whole 1 minute to greet this one and that one, and so be it. But we'll stick to the 1 minute rule here. So rather, I just say give your name and go straight to the point. Okay. So let's pick another call. Hello. Good morning. Hello.
Power off. Hello.
Hello. Morning.
Morning.
You have to switch off. Yeah. Take another call. I've told you that please switch off your radio when you call in. It gives an echo. We can hardly hear you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
My name is Ebi Pade, and I'm calling from Ota.
Yes.
Okay, so I love the last statement of Mr. Owela Kempa. I just love it. Nobody should think that they are intelligent more than another person at this time.
Yes.
Everybody, all hands must be on deck. I didn't vote for this government, but we are in real serious trouble. So
Yes.
at this point in time, I think all hands must be on deck. Solutions has to come from somewhere, anywhere, but we need to move our country forward. And thank you, Uncle Jimmy.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Thank you. Let's pick another call. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, morning. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you?
This is Malik speaking from First Bank.
Morning, Malik, how are you?
Uncle Jimmy?
Yes.
You know our biggest problem that all of us in Nigeria, including me, we are too smart. We feel every opportunity given to us is to be taken by making money.
Yes.
That is why we are not sincere. The moment we bring sincerity into government, half of our problem has been solved.
Yes.
Like I said before, you own a company before that is doing petroleum business. You came in, you say subsidy is gone without arresting the criminals, and you feel it can work. It's not going to work. By the time we are prepared and we will think deep and call ourselves that we want our country to be better for us, we will not be in this mess. Since we are still doing
okay, let me ask Mr. Lakemfa. You brought up a valid point. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Away.
Yes.
Is the Labour Congress insisting that those who brought us to this mess should be arrested and prosecuted? I'm talking of those who botched the subsidy program and turned it into a bazaar of some sort. Because I don't have anything against subsidy. I think the major problem had been the implementation that just opened the fuel and the money to anybody who was willing and smart enough, to make a grab at it and run away with it. Yes.
It's a straightforward thing.
Yes.
About crime and punishment.
Mm-hmm.
And criminals are hardly punished in Nigeria, especially if you have the ways and means.
Yes.
We all know those who are, who are carrying out this scam. They are companies, they are individuals that are known. You get it? If you remember in 2012, these are companies they were listed by the House of Reps.
Yes.
Companies that did that. We knew. And in fact, there was a member of the House of Reps who is in jail now.
Yes.
For taking bribe from a company that was listed.
Yes.
So we know these companies, they are there. We know their leaders. Look, you can trace everything. Those who are collecting the subsidy, who are bringing in, empty vessels, claiming they are full of petroleum products. We know. But the government is incapable or politically unwilling to send people to jail. So for it is easier to remove the subsidy and let the people stop committing crime than taking the criminals to court and sending them to jail. We all know that.
Which is sad, and I hope those who are involved in this practice can get a feel of what people are saying, because if it's common knowledge, then surely one day the bubble might just burst, and I'd rather not think of the consequences of that bubble bursting. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's still good. It's still good that you have. NSAS should have taught us a lesson. It's still good that we have an NLC that you can hold responsible. If the government doesn't bow to pressure and get things done properly, then surely, if care is not taken, you could have another NSAS situation. And those guys, at that point, will have the information that is necessary. And I just pray for the health and survival of such persons who have been involved in this. People don't have a clear understanding that the Nigeria of today is different from the Nigeria of when you and I were in Vanguard in '84. With the advent of the social media, far too many people are knowledgeable about what you would call secrets and so on and so forth. And if the government doesn't manage the situation well with the NLC, remember that in the NSAS there was nobody to negotiate with. You remember? There was nobody to really hold responsible that you could say you want to negotiate with, and it was the smoothest demonstration I've ever seen. Of course, minus the fact that, unfortunately, there were casualties. To prevent such things, I would advise the government, you have NLC in the gap now, try and tidy up a lot of things, And the government has to sacrifice some of his friends. The government has to sacrifice some of his friends and allies. Now even if it's going to be plea bargaining or whatever, get our money back. If they won't face punishment, but even if you can as much as get our money back, I would love that. The president was kind enough to set up somebody in the CBN, a prosecutor and we hear plea bargains are going on. Fair enough. Why didn't he do so in the subsidy regime? He should put a special prosecutor, the investigator and prosecutor, and go after them, even if it's just going to be to give our money back, and let us know them. It is also important that we know them and know it will happen one day. Take it from me away. I know it will happen one day. People need to know who their enemies are. In quote.
Let me that sense.
Yes.
The House of Representatives investigated the whole thing.
Yes.
2012.
Yes.
That report contains of individuals, of companies. They are there.
Yes.
But you don't even need an investigator for that period. So what you need to investigate between 2012 and now.
Yes. So you can start with those that we know. We can start with those that we know. I think Nigeria is a conspiracy country. I'm telling you, there are too many things that are intertwined, because it's people that have this kind of easy access to money that can play politics, and therefore, if you were to follow it to the letter, only God knows who amongst our political operators will be able to walk free on the streets. You get what I'm saying? There's a nexus between all these things and politics. It's when they've done thief half of the money now, you now come and say, I want to run for this and I want to run for that. Heaven help us all. Sorry?
You know when President Tinubu came in, one of the things I said is that even if he cannot build mass housing, he should build mass prison. You get it?
Well, I hope we don't.
There are things I cannot understand.
I hope we don't.
Let me give you an example.
Yes, go on.
An example. Yeah. The EFCC claimed it was investigating a governor. And that the governor, they claimed, I don't know, I cannot say exactly how much now, maybe 70 billion or something. I can't say exactly now. Now the governor countered it by saying, no, it was the EFCC chairman, Bauer, that was asking for $2 million bribe. You get it?
Yes.
Now, the man did not say, no, I did not steal this money. He said he was asked for a bribe.
Yes.
That man ran for elections again. He did not win. Now, Bauer is in detention. That man is a minister. He does not send the correct signal.
Yeah.
So that, I'm not saying the man was guilty, that EFCC's claims are correct.
Yes.
I'm only saying that we as a people, the government, we deserve that the government should say, look, this man was accused of so and so, but we have found he's not guilty, so we are making a minister. But to just keep quiet and make the same man a minister will not move our country anywhere.
The one person that I know who will understand this is a gentleman called Kelvin who lives in Surulere. Because like they will say, a shrine man. Fella had one song, GOC. Go and find out what GOC means. Not you people out there, GOC. Put a call through to Femi and ask him what GOC means. On that note, I'm going to thank you very much. I'm going to thank you very much for coming. Maybe in about 2 weeks we'll have you back, by which time the strike would have taken place. Hopefully it would have been resolved, so we'll be able to sit and review all what has been said. Thank you very much, Away. You can now go back to drinking your ogi and akara early in the morning. My regards to Mrs. Lakemfa for letting you off the breakfast table. Okay, drink the ogi. That's where we're going to end it for today, and I will be back by His grace on Tuesday morning, because I don't work on Sundays. And put a call through to Kelvin and ask him the meaning of GOC. Oh my God. Heaven help this country. Tomorrow the president is going to deliver his speech. I think usually it will be something like 7 o'clock in the morning. So for all his worth, you might want to listen and see if there's anything that sounds favorable to all. But I'm not that optimistic. Not just because of the person of president, no. But usually the October 1 speeches have always been an anticlimax. In the days of the military when we didn't have parliament, it would be a day of announcing one or two things with immediate effect. But with the political this thing, it doesn't work that way. So, but for all it's worth, you might want to listen out tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I don't know if our station, I think our station, all stations will carry the speech anyway, and this will not be an exception. I hope I said the right thing. Okay, one more time, if you know Kelvin's number, call him and GOC. Actually, if you go to YouTube and you plug it in, you see a song will come out. You listen to it and you get an idea of what's going on. Oh, yeah, thank you very much. I like your adire. I like your adire. Very nice. Is this made to fit? Is the cloth, because look at the pattern, it goes, so it's made to Abby?
I think so. It's one fabric.
It's one fabric, so it goes like that. We're getting there. It's better to wear these adire things and all these jeans and whatever that cost a fortune. Freedom too. This one here, is it follow? It's a mixture. It's a mixture. All right, folks. God willing, I'll see you on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.